Okay, so for this one, we're going to continue what we've been doing since last week on quadratics. We're just going to graph it, and we're going to answer these questions: axis of symmetry, vertex, domain, and range. So I want you to put this equation in the calculator. Decimals, y equals x squared. Y equals x squared. And just so you know, this is the parent function. This is the parent of all quadratics. Okay? When you put this in decimals, try to touch the vertex and anything else that you see, any points that kind of pop up, because that'll help you with the ordered pairs. So for instance, this one, the vertex is at 0, 0. That means the axis of symmetry is at x equals 0. So we're going to go ahead and write that down. I have a point right here at 0, 0. And I would put it in the middle of the table, just because it's the vertex, right? There's going to be points to the left and points to the right. My vertex is at 0, 0. My axis of symmetry is x equals 0. Okay? I still need more points, so let's go get the rest of those points. If you hit the settings button, the gears button, and hit the table, that'll give you the table for that equation. Okay? And it gives you more points. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points that you can put on your table. So go ahead, everybody start writing those on the table. And let's start plotting them in our graph. Say it again. -2, 4, -1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4. And if you notice on the table, these start repeating. 4, 4, 1, 1, and then the one that's in the middle is the vertex, the one that doesn't repeat. Oh, this is a 1? Okay, and it's like a mirror, so whatever you see on the left side needs to be the same thing on the right side. What is the domain for this quadratic? All real numbers, because it's going to keep going to the left forever and to the right forever. So it's all real numbers. Okay? The range, remember we're going from the bottom to the top, so we're always going to start range like this. From the bottom to the top number. So here we go, I'm starting it. What's the lowest point that it goes to? 0, right here. And it equals to it because there is a point right there at 0. And then what is the topmost point? Like, where does it end up at the top? Infinity, right? Because those arrows are going to keep going forever and ever. So the only part that I need is that part, which is y greater than or equal to 0. That's my range. All the numbers greater than or equal to 0. Problem number 3, I'm just going to start it because I want to help you only on the range part. You guys can do the rest of it. I'm just going to help you on the range. So type this equation, type the quadratic in decimals. Y equals negative x squared minus 8x minus 17. Here's my quadratic. You can touch the vertex. You can hit settings and open up the table for the rest of the points. You can always ask for more points. So like this one is -2, -3, -4. So I can ask for -5. -6, -7, -8, so forth. If you want this one, you can hit -3. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would pick these 5 points because they're right next to each other and it forms the quadratic. Okay, so on the range, what is the lowest number that it goes to? Remember, we started like this. And this parabola opens downward. So what is the lowest that it goes to? Is it going to keep going? It's going to keep going, right? So -infinity is the lowest that it goes to, the bottom. What is the topmost point that it goes to? -1. So the lowest is -infinity, the highest is -1, and it equals to it. So I don't need this part, I only need this part. It's all the numbers less than or equal to -1. Okay, so you guys are going to finish the rest of it. Let's go to the back page. The back page, I'm only going to do some notes. Okay, quadratic roots are the X-intercepts. Okay, which are also called the zeros, roots, solutions. So there's different names that we use. We use X-intercepts, zeros, roots, solutions. Okay? Number of solutions. So if I have 2 solutions, it'll look something like this. Okay, this is just an example. It'll have 2 solutions. That means it'll cross the x-axis 2 times. Okay? If it has 1 solution, how many times do you think it's going to cross the x-axis? 1 time. It's only going to touch it 1 time. So, for example, something like this, where it only touches 1 time, that is 1 solution. Okay? You can have another one that opens downward, same thing. As long as it only touches it 1 time, it has 1 solution. So these are just examples. These are 2 different examples. They're not the same thing. And then no solution. How many times does it cross the x-axis? 0 times. So, for example, something like this, where it gets low enough, but it never touches the x-axis. Or something like this, downward, but it never, see, it's going to keep going down forever and ever, but it's not going to get up enough to touch the x-intercept. So those are examples of 1 solution, no solution, and 2 solutions. So what I want you to do is I want you to put this in Desmos. I want you to get me the table, the graph, and tell me the solutions. So what are the x-intercepts? Where did they cross? So let's go put that in Desmos. X squared plus 4x minus 5 y equals x squared plus 4x minus 5. How many solutions? 2. And you can touch them right there and right there. Okay? So you're going to need a table. There's more points. Here's a y-intercept. Here's a vertex. There's another point right here, -4, -5. And if you want, you can add the table. So hit the settings table. So it opens up more points. You can even type more if you want. -3, enter. -4, enter. -5, enter. Okay, just so more points can pop up on your graph. So again, the solutions were -5 and 1. So when you write it over here, right here for problem number 1, you're going to put -5 and 1. But I want you to draw the table and I want you to draw the graph. Put the points on there. So finish the front page and the back page.